The other guy, he go in the post office.
Okay.
They call the police and everything. He don't want to say anything, but
Yeah.
he doing, So
Yeah, but the thing is, we don't. Yeah.
It's government property.
Which makes it public property.
It's not how it works.
That's how it works. Who trained you?
Because we're a government entity.
Okay.
Like I just said,
Okay.
there's something called the freedom of information.
Okay. Do you know this?
That you need like a formal request before you can come in here. I'm sure that they would love to answer your questions if you gave them some notice, right?
That's correct.
They would love to answer your questions, right? They have no notice. They don't know what you're doing here. Yes, you say you're a journalist, but from that they don't have anything.
Number?
I'm 0263.
Nice to meet you.
So you heard?
I heard what he said.
Just don't harass anybody.
I wasn't.
Once you're done with what you got to do.
Yes.
A journalist walks into a U.S. postal distribution center to ask questions about missing packages, and chaos erupts. Despite being in a public lobby and citing constitutional rights, the postal manager threatens police involvement. But when law enforcement shows up, the education begins. What starts as confrontation ends in a powerful First Amendment lesson for everyone involved.
Hi, guys. Hello. Good. Is there a manager here that I can speak with?
What's the problem, sir?
I just have some questions for whoever is available to speak with me. I'm investigating a story.
Sorry?
Yes.
Oh, so you're from the police?
No, I'm not from the police. Just an independent journalist.
You're from the police.
Yes.
Okay, so, but right now the plant manager, she is not here, So if you want, you can call 4362, sir.
Okay.
And do that. But before, I'm telling you, you
Okay.
cannot be recorded anything.
I can't record anything.
Nothing. If they give you permission, you can go ahead. Yes.
Okay.
This is a federal promises.
Okay.
So you can do that, but if you're recording me, it does not help you. So,
Well, I have to record my investigation.
no, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying, sir. There is no problem.
Okay.
If they say the boss says go through, you can feel free to do whatever you want to do. Before that, don't do it. That's all.
Oh, I think I'm able to. It's a public facility. I'm able to record in here.
Sir, why are you stretching something? Take a permission and do whatever you want to.
I want to record every single interaction I have.
I saw you on the YouTube. Sir.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes,
Okay.
I have no objection, but they have the objection, so I'm here.
Yeah, I mean, they can't, they don't have the authority to object to make me record it in here.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
if they say no, I have nothing to do.
Okay.
Just call 436.
4362?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Let me drive here.
Oh, okay. Sounds great. Thank you.
What's your channel name, sir?
My channel name?
Yeah.
I just got a content for a story and publish it on YouTube.
Okay.
So-
Do you have any name or?
Well, if he comes down here, maybe I can chat with him and tell him that, right? To tell him my channel name for him to.
No, because you here and you don't want to. It's the same argument with the other guy, he go in the post office.
Okay.
They call the police and everything. He don't want to say anything, but
Yeah.
he doing, So
Yeah, but the thing is, we don't really have to explain to anybody who we are. And,
no, because
yeah.
if somebody come here in your home or someplace, so you start recording stuff. That's not.
Yeah, but this is not your home. Come on.
No, this is not. I am definitely telling. This is not
Yeah.
my home.
Yeah, this
But
is-
This is not your home either. This is not your home either.
Yeah.
You cannot and say I'm the public. So it's the public. So this is a federal promises.
Yeah, but it's also a public facility. And you guys know by now that journalists and people can come in here and record and get a content for a story. You guys should know that by now.
What story you're looking for?
Well, actually, have you seen the reports about this facility? How a lot of people said their mails have been missing for weeks and months, and some people even think that their mails have been stolen, and no one ever does anything about it.
No, because I am here. So
Exactly. That's why I want to speak with your manager, because I know you can't answer my
because
questions.
I know because you came on the wrong day. So there's nobody here, but I'm calling someone who is in charge.
Okay, I appreciate it.
So if you come Monday to Friday, someone here so they can speak with you.
Okay.
And they give you permission to go inside to take a look.
Yeah.
But it's nobody here.
So everything here is restricted, even upstairs? Okay.
Upstairs and everywhere, sir.
Okay.
If you have badge, you can go. If you don't have the badge, someone come and sign for you, so you can go.
Gotcha. So there's no manager present here today?
I'm calling the who is in charge.
In charge here, okay.
The managers are off, So
Okay.
sometimes they come, but mostly is off on Saturdays.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Well, I work Monday through Friday, so I'm only free on Saturdays.
That's why you can.
Exactly.
No,
Yeah. I actually have a real job.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I am off Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't, so that's not right.
Yeah. Not much. I'm just gathering content for a story. May I have your name?
I'm Devin Demby, but you can't have a camera on postal premises.
I cannot.
No, you cannot.
Why is that?
That's our actually postal rule, U.S. government.
Actually, your Postal 7 says otherwise.
No, it doesn't. I could go get some documentation for you.
Yeah, your Postal 7 says we can record in here for news purposes.
No. And first, you have to call and talk to somebody before you come up here for news services. It's the whole freedom of information.
Okay.
For any request of information, you have to call and get contact and authorization first. You just can't come up here and
Oh, I don't.
whatever or
I don't
request whatever.
I don't think so. It's a public place.
No,
You can.
No, it's not public.
This is not a public place.
This is government property.
Which makes it public.
No, it doesn't.
So what is
You
it?
can't go to the CIA, FBI, any other government entity and just do whatever.
So
Or
you're
record whatever. You have to have authorization.
yeah. So you're quitting the post
Do you want
office.
me to call the police?
I mean, you can do what you need to do, but I'm telling you that we're allowed to be here. Where's your Postal
No, you
7?
can't. You cannot come on postal property, U.S. government property, and start recording.
Where is your Postal 7? Can you get your Postal 7?
I'm the manager of the building.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything.
It means everything. I run the building.
Well, it doesn't mean anything if you don't abide by your own rules.
I do abide by my own rules.
Where is your Postal 7?
We take tests every year about the rules.
The postal
I know the rules.
Actually, the postal inspector just put out a memo that tells you exactly. I mean, tells you
Do
to
you have
do.
the memo on you?
You should have it. You should have it,
So
right?
you're referencing something that you don't even have.
There's a memo that says that we could be here, and you guys shouldn't even bother us while we're here. That's exactly
That's
what the
not
memo
true.
says. Okay.
You cannot find anything that says.
All right. Well, I will pull up that
If you
memo.
find it, bring it to me.
I will pull it.
Believe me, I know plenty of postal inspectors, and you cannot just come up here
Oh yeah,
and request whatever.
you're wrong.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
So
you're wrong. Hopefully, the police are educated, and they might let you know that
they are.
we can be here.
They are. You
And-
cannot be on postal property recording.
Yeah.
It's government property.
Which makes it public property.
It's not how it works.
That's how it works. Who trained you?
Because we're a government entity.
Okay.
Like I just said,
Okay.
there's something called the freedom of information.
Okay. Do you know this?
All requests of information have to be properly submitted,
That's
and that includes news resources.
yeah. So listen, if I'm
You haven't gone through any proper channels
Okay.
to come up here and start recording.
if I'm looking for a specific information, a specific record, then I can put in a public information request.
What do you think news resources are?
Yeah.
It's a waste of time. So
I agree with you.
You good?
You have exactly. This area is restricted. As long as I don't go past the restricted areas, I can be here in the lobby.
Actually, as soon as you come past that stop sign and you enter, you're on government postal property.
Which is a public property. I'm surprised that some of you have not learned yet.
I know.
Yeah. I'm surprised that some of you are still ignorant.
I need to tell you, but I don't know. I can't remember. I think Mia probably fill you in on some of the stuff.
That's why I said to him, he cannot do that, but he says the public place. So anybody can do.
So what have you done to address all the reports from this facility about mails that are lost and some are missing and people think their mails have been stolen here? Have you guys done anything about it?
That's not this facility.
Oh, it is. Oh, absolutely. That's why I'm here. And not just this facility. Pretty much every other distribution center have the same issues.
No,
where people
actually, we're doing pretty good.
the packages come through here, and a lot of people lose their valuable packages, and they never see it. And they follow up, and you guys never get back to them and explain to them what's going on with their packages.
We're processing over 700,000 parcels a day.
Okay, understood.
And most of them get delivered.
Okay,
Now, as long as the Postal Service has been around,
okay,
there's
sure,
always a small percentage of what we process that gets damaged.
agreed. But
And a lot of the times that's because of how the package was packaged. A lot of times customers don't package properly,
Okay.
and things bust open, break open. That's not done intentionally.
Oh,
we have machines that process.
Oh, I'm not
so
saying
if you're talking about some stuff that they got lost in the mail. That's very unfortunate, but that's not.
I'm not saying that it's intentional. What I'm saying is now when those people bring up those issues with you, with this office, nothing is done about it. They're not made whole. No one follows up with them to explain to them exactly what happened to their package, right?
Everybody has a job to do.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for you, like that's not my job to follow up on the packages. We do have a team that works on that. We do.
Okay.
And they have their hands full, believe me, because there are a lot of requests. But again, like I don't have the answer for that.
Right. And
like I said, if we're processing 700,000 parcels a day, how am I going to answer for the 70,000 or 7,000?
Yeah. What about reports of individual businesses that have had this happen to them repeatedly? Not just one time, repeatedly.
I don't know.
And they said that the packages that they ship are very valuable packages. So it seems like someone is going through the packages and intentionally trying to find what's in there. And if it's valuable, they take it. That's what the business thinks. That's what the business owner thinks.
Well, we do have what we call the Office of Inspector General.
Okay.
And I've worked with them plenty of times.
All right.
If there's an employee stealing items out of the mail, the inspectors get involved with that. And I've helped them grab employees and fire them for different things in the past. That's something that doesn't happen a lot.
Okay, now that kind of information is what I can file a FOIA request for, a Freedom of Information Act. What you just described, that's what requires me to file a Freedom of Information Act if I want to get that information. But simply walking in here to ask you questions or find out or investigate a story doesn't require me to file a Freedom of Information request.
You do need to go through proper channels to come up here and start recording. I've entertained you this long.
That's fine.
I do have other things to do, but
Well, I appreciate your time. I appreciate your time. I just want you guys to understand that
you find the answers that you're looking for.
That members of the public, whether they're journalists or simply members of the public, can walk in here and hold government accountable.
Okay.
That's what the First Amendment is all about. That's what the freedom of press is all about. Without that,
you still have to do it through proper channels.
No, if I ask for your permission to come here, right? How is that free? If I have to ask for your permission to come in here and ask you a question, how is that freedom?
It's freedom because we're going to grant it. We can't deny it. We can't deny any request.
Right.
We can't deny any request. That's the thing. But you have to go through proper channel.
No, this is the proper channel.
To set that up. It's not the proper channel. Good afternoon, I should say. How you doing?
How long have you worked here?
I've worked for the Postal Service for 14 years.
14 years.
14 years.
Okay. I'm just surprised that
I've been managing for 8.
Great. I'm just surprised that you're not informed enough to know that we can walk in here.
Like I just told you, the freedom of information. We're going to get it. We can't deny any information. We cannot. So, but you have to go through the proper channels. That's the whole thing.
So, for example, if a news organization is investigating the story, right? And they walk in here asking questions. Now you tell them
they're going to be sent away.
You tell them to go away.
They are going to be sent away because that's not the proper channel.
So what's the proper channel?
I have bosses higher than me that you got to talk to set up different requests for interviews and stuff like that. It's not up to just me. All I know is that you can't come in here and do that.
Oh yes, I can. Well, you can choose not to speak with me, but you can't tell me that I cannot come in here and ask my questions. But you can choose not to speak with me. You can choose not to interact with me. That's your right.
That's your opinion.
But you cannot stop me from coming here in the first place to ask my questions.
That's your opinion. No problem.
We're all good. It's just freedom. That's what's going on here. Exercising the freedoms that the United States Constitution grants every member of the public, every citizen.
There's still rules and regulations that everybody has to abide by. It says it's the land of the free, but you have a lot of rules and laws.
Oh yeah, and one of those rules is that I can't go past a restricted area. Like I can't go past any of these points because I know they're restricted. But this lobby is open to the public.
If you
Right?
read the signage when you're coming
Okay.
this way,
Okay.
it says you are officially on government property.
Oh, absolutely.
So
It doesn't say- it doesn't say-
you're trespassing on government property. You don't have the authorizations to come in here.
Oh no, if that's the case, there will be a sign out there that says "Do not enter."
There's a sign out there that says do not enter without authorization.
Where?
It's on the sign out there. When you're driving up, you can see it.
At the gate
With the gate, all the way down, on the stop sign, right there.
that says "Do not enter." So you.
If you look on, when you're coming in, look on the right side.
Okay.
You will see it.
Okay, but it doesn't say
It does.
it doesn't say
do not enter.
it doesn't say personnel only, right?
Sir,
Okay.
it's not by your choice.
Okay.
You're not going to put the sign by your choice, what you like or what you don't like.
But
So that's why they're saying unauthorized person is the federal promises, unauthorized person, you cannot be entering the building. You trespass the property, but you not understand. You're saying
But-
what you like, I have to put it.
no, it's not about what I
No,
like.
because you're saying,
Well, is-
what
is-
they say they're not entering, this is not right.
But
So
is the public allowed on this property?
this is not public allowed.
This is not
This is
public.
public, not public allowed.
What's this out there? The public can come in and put their mails in here, right?
Sir,
Right?
there's the post box, you
Yeah.
can put the mail.
Okay.
So, but the public cannot, he come and recording. he's not
Oh, so the
allowed.
problem
It's
is-
two different
So the
things.
problem is that I'm recording.
So, of course,
Okay.
unveiling this, somebody, privacy.
But also, because even though we're postal employees,
Okay.
We cannot do that.
we are also customers of the postal service as well.
Okay.
So we use that mailbox
Okay.
more than the public actually
Okay.
does.
Okay.
Most people don't even know that this facility is over here or even to drop off mail.
Yeah.
So
It's also a post office as well as a distribution center, isn't it?
it's not a post office. No.
So you can't come here and mail your letters.
No, you can't come in here and do
You-
regular postal service duties.
Yeah, but
Like where you're at AO.
there's a box out
That's
there.
just a drop box. So,
Hello, sir. How are we doing?
Good, officer. How are you?
Hi.
Hi. May I have your name?
What's going on? Officer Avila.
What's your badge
Can I
number?
help you? 287.
Thank you.
How may I help you guys? What's going on?
this gentleman is, on postal property, recording
Okay.
whatever he's recording, asking questions. He has not been authorized to come here and record. He did not contact our plant manager or any member of the postal service to record. He says it's his right to just come up here and just record free will.
Not just to record, to ask questions as an independent journalist.
Oh, you're a journalist?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for what you do. Unfortunately, here though, private property, as I just told you, you can't be in here.
How is this private property, ma'am?
This
But
is a
it's-
post office, right? So even the postal office has its own police and stuff, it's its own entity. right?
Understood. Okay.
So if they don't want you recording here, then you can't record here.
You have to submit a request.
All right, there you go. Look, I have it in writing.
Can you?
2240.
Okay, I'm listening.
Okay. So, I mean, tell them,
But this
they
is-
tell
this
you
is-
again and again, right?
This is public property, right? This is public property, and members of the public and journalists are allowed to come here to ask
No,
them
it's like
questions.
Walmart, right? It's public, it's open to the public and everything.
Walmart
They
is-
have the right to refuse service.
Walmart is a private entity. This is a government entity, which makes it
Right.
public.
Correct. And the
Which makes it
government doesn't
public.
want you here.
Well,
So
they actually have a
they are
post.
speaking.
They actually have a poster 7 that they're supposed to have on the wall that expressly says that.
Do you want to read this? Go ahead and read it. So they're nicely asking you that you need like a formal request before you can come in here. I'm sure that they would love to answer your questions if you gave them some notice, right?
That's correct. That's what I
They would
just
love to
explained
answer
him.
your questions, right? They have no notice. They don't know what you're doing here. Yes, you say you're a journalist, but from that, they don't have anything. So you can see how they're thrown off, right?
Well, I can understand that they're thrown off, but the thing is, their poster 7. I don't know what this is, but they actually have a poster 7. It's called a poster 7 that's supposed to be in every postal facility that expressly gives journalists the right to come in here and ask questions.
You have a copy of that?
You should have a poster 7.
Like I just.
He knows what a poster 7 is.
Like I just told you.
You telling anything you want.
I just told you.
Okay.
Yes, you are right. But it has to be a formal request.
No, it doesn't say I have to put in a request on the poster 7. Can you tell them to pull up the poster 7? They're supposed to have it here.
Let's meet in the middle.
Okay.
So they're requiring a request, correct?
Okay.
You want to ask some questions. They want to answer the questions, right? They got nothing to hide here. They want to answer all your questions.
Well, that's a different story.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Let's leave it at that. So they're politely asking you to submit a request so that you can now come in and ask some questions. Are you able to do that for them? Because right now, they want you out. You don't have any sort of request. Do you see where I'm coming from?
I see where you're coming from,
Okay.
but I'm also saying that that's a violation of my First Amendment right,
Okay.
the freedom of the press. That's a violation of that constitutional right. You know,
They have the right to refuse.
Okay.
Just like they have the right to put in certain rules in here, they have the right to refuse you coming in here, and they have the right to call us
Okay.
to get you out of here. All right.
Okay,
So
they have the right to call you, but they don't have the right to ask me to leave a place where I have the right to be. But what's going to happen here? What's the end game here? If I choose not to leave, what's going to happen? Because I don't want my right to be violated here today. I'm not going to allow them to violate my right here today.
I'm not gonna violate your rights either,
And I
right?
hope you don't do
Well,
that either.
I'm helping you understand why this is wrong, right? So put in your formal request, as they have already told you, and then come speak to them then. I don't understand why we have to do,
Well, the reason is I don't have to put in a request to exercise my First Amendment right.
then they don't have to answer any of your questions.
Absolutely, they have the right not to answer my question, but they don't have the right to kick me out of here. Now, I don't intend to be here all day, obviously.
So
Okay.
what is your purpose here? Like, I know you're a journalist, but what do you want to get out of this?
Well, my purpose, the reason I came here is to ask them questions
Okay.
about a story that I'm investigating. Now, granted, they don't have to answer those questions, right? But it's a whole different scenario. It's a whole different issue with them trying to kick me out of a place that I have a right to be. So I don't intend to be here all day, like I said. So if they won't answer my questions, obviously I'm going to leave eventually.
Yeah.
But I do want them to understand that they do not have that authority or the right to kick me out of a place where I have a right to be.
So okay, if you can't get any of your questions answered, are you just gonna, sit there and just record the wall?
Oh no, that's not what I'm going to do. But I would like you as a law enforcement officer to explain to them that I have the right to be here. You swore an oath to the Constitution, didn't you? You swore an oath to the U.S. Constitution to uphold it. And part of the U.S. Constitution is the First Amendment right, which gives me the right to be here. So I would prefer that you explain to them that I have the right to be
You
here.
guys have video recording, like a rule for video recording?
It's called a Poster 7.
It's still in.
It's in
No,
there.
this is not the Poster 7, man.
So you need a location agreement. Like I said before, you go to Walmart, it's obviously open to the public. You need their permission. They don't want you recording you there. They don't want you asking any questions. Cool. Then you gotta go. Same thing here.
You keep
alright?
saying that. There's a difference between
That's-
a private entity and a public entity.
I understand that.
Right? Walmart is private. Walmart can ask anybody to leave their property for any reason whatsoever. But in a government facility, that's public. Members of the public have a right to be there. So that's different.
So we gotta go right now, though. We gotta go because they don't want you here, right? So now I'm here
Okay.
because they don't want you here,
All right.
and I'm gonna nicely ask you to leave because obviously they don't want any problems. I don't want any problems. You don't want any problems, right? So
Okay.
just put in your formal request. Like I said, if you want this paper, you can have this paper.
Now, I don't need it because I know what the Poster 7 says.
Then you can head out.
So that's Laura.
And if I don't head out, what happens?
You gotta head out. They don't want you here. All right.
Like I said, I've explained to you, I don't want to be here all day, right? Eventually, obviously, I'm going to leave. But I would like you, as a law enforcement officer that swore an oath to the Constitution, to educate this gentleman and let them know that, yes, they can choose not to answer my
How about we
question,
meet in the middle?
right? They can choose not to answer my questions, and then I would find a different avenue to get my questions answered if they choose not to answer them. I might come back again and speak with someone else that might be willing to answer my questions. But they don't have the right to tell me to leave here, leave a place where I have the right to be. So if you can explain that to them,
I'm not going to entertain this gentleman. I'm calling the postal inspectors right now. So
that's great, because the postal inspector might educate him.
Is your what, sir?
The postal inspector might educate him and let him know that I can do what I'm doing.
I'm very educated in the whole thing.
Oh, no, you're not. Because if
management, we have to test for this every single year. And I read and I answer the questions correctly.
your postal inspector
About
just put out a memo recently.
Anything that has to do with news reporters, freedom of information. I've told you the process already. You have to go through proper channels to request to even be here.
Where he's mistaken
Conduct an interview.
is a freedom of, I'm sure you know what a freedom of information request.
Do you have any information on the subject?
What do you mean? What's your name?
Because I'm not going to tell you my name.
What is
You
your
said
name? 'Cause I need it too.
yeah. What's your name?
When I've broken the law, then that's when I have to tell you who I am.
No.
Well, you said you're a news reporter. You want information. You want to ask questions. What's your name?
Yeah, but are you demanding my name?
Yes.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Just write down your name for me. You don't even have to give it to her. Just I need it for me.
Yeah, well, you need it to make a report.
I need it for me. So
Okay.
I'm asking the citizen to give you to.
Yeah, but the law says that the only reason I have to identify myself as a law enforcement officer is when I've committed a crime. You have to have reasonable, articulable suspicion that you have committed a crime
right now,
before you can.
technically, trespassing.
Oh,
They don't
well,
want you here. So technically, there is a crime.
oh no,
He
that's
hasn't made any threats, no. But right now he's interrupting my day because I'm the manager of the building and he's just sitting in the lobby recording people.
no.
And
The thing
we
is,
are in the-
he's on the phone with his supervisor. So if he confirms to him that I'm able to be here, then I'm not trespassing. Just because they say I'm trespassing doesn't mean I am. Just because they don't want me here doesn't mean I'm trespassing, right? So
It's a disturbance.
On the station report for fraud report.
What did the police officer, well, unfortunately, they can report, wish they could, but they can't. They can, as long as they're not threatening anybody, or,
are you listening?
of course, vandalizing the property.
So he can loiter on our property
I'm not loitering.
because he's been up here for about 40 minutes. He does not work at this facility.
I haven't been here for 40 minutes.
Yes, you have.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. It doesn't actually
You
matter.
can be up here for 40 minutes or longer. If that's the case, I'll leave from up here and I'll go back to my office and he can just stay there forever. I don't care, but I don't think that it works that way.
I don't want to be here forever.
What is the, just give the information to the police officer on scene.
She's right here.
All right. So if he's allowed to record, if he's in this public space here, he's not, and obviously trying to enter the facility. I think best is to just meet in the middle, leave him here. He can record. He just can't talk to anybody. He can't harass anybody. Does that seem right?
Right.
Okay. All right. No screaming at anybody.
I haven't done that. I don't intend to do that.
Voice, that's why a little bit of screaming. All right. So is that cool with you if he just stays to the side there?
I mean, if he's raising his voice,
No, that was just because of the argument that we were having, whether he could be here or not.
oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately they can. I mean, they can report as long as, like you said, they're not threatening anybody, not vandalizing the property.
Okay.
Not,
No, I gotcha.
They
Yeah.
can be there. They can be there and report as long as they're not.
Okay.
It's just, I wish it was different too.
Okay. Well, thank you for confirming that. All right. I'll explain a couple things for him. Officer Avila, badge 287. All right.
Mind if I get your name and your badge number?
I'll say earlier, 263.
Nice to meet you.
So you heard?
I heard what he said.
Just don't harass anybody.
I wasn't.
Once you're done with what you got to do,
Yes.
But
go ahead and head out. All right. But
Sounds great.
Don't confront anybody.
I
Do
don't
what you
intend to
gotta
do that.
Just don't talk to him.
I'm glad you got good.
And if he does,
I'm sure he's just gonna keep asking people different questions.
Thank you.
All right.
Take care.
We can't do anything.
Yeah.
Have a better day.
Leave him up here.
This video proves that knowing your rights matters. Even government officials sometimes need a refresher on the Constitution. So the next time you're told to leave a public place without legal grounds, stand your ground. Film it. Know the law. Because freedom isn't requested, it's exercised. They want quiet streets and compliant cameras. But we're not here to make them comfortable. We're here to make them accountable. If you believe in rights, not just rules, hit like, share this video, and subscribe. Let's keep the pressure on.